Hi, I'm Tom Nelson. Welcome to Drumming Grip Position Part 2. If you saw my Part 1 video, I quickly tried to explain the three positions for playing: German, French, and American. I wanted to keep it simple for you so you could just look at it, see it, know a little bit about it, and decide if it was something you want to learn more about. If you're here, it's because you want to learn more about those playing positions. So allow me to elaborate. Long before the drum set, and the drum set's about 100 years old, but long before the drum set, there were drummers and percussionists, specifically timpanists. If we go back to Germany into the 1700s and through the 1800s, we had some great music being written by the likes of Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, Brahms, Wagner, and those people grew their music. Their music was big, powerful. It grew into the Romantic era, which was very emotional music. And because of that, the percussionists who played that music in Germany developed a style of playing for power. And we look back at that and call that the German grip or the German position. The German position features the sticks at a 180-degree angle, tips together on the drum, elbows in, palms down. This allows for maximum power from the wrist, from the elbow, and from the shoulder. That is the German position. That's where it originated. It really is a classical playing technique, and if you study classical percussion, you would know this. If you're here because you're a drum set player and you're curious about the grip, well, now you know that that's where it started. And I actually learned it in college when I was studying music, and I learned it as a timpani grip. And I learned that there were two timpani grips, the German and the French. German for power, and we'll talk about French here in a second. So that's what the German position is. Let me say that I don't look at it as a grip, although online you're going to see it called a grip. To me, the grip is where you hold your sticks with your hand. And whatever position I'm playing from, my grip doesn't really change. My fulcrum point might change a little, but my grip doesn't. So that's why I think of it as a position. However, it will be referred to as a grip in most of what you study. So we can call it a grip, but think of it more so as a position. Your hands don't change, how you're holding the stick, that is. It just changes where your hands are in relation to your body. Again, that's the German grip. Now, I will say one more thing about the German grip. The German grip utilizes the most muscles in your forearm, wrist, hand, and fingers. So the importance of German grip is that you can develop the most power from it because you're using the most muscles, which is why I recommend practicing exercises in the German position. Not that I would expect someone to play live in the German position. You should play where you're comfortable, which for most is American. But in working in the German position, you're developing muscles so that when you go to American, you have more power from which to draw, if you need it, to be more musically expressive. And there you have it, German. Now let's go to French, the other extreme, where German is the outward extreme, French is the inward extreme. The sticks come together parallel or slightly off parallel if you want to have your tips closer together. The key to French is the thumbs have to be on top of the stick. The palms have to be facing each other, not down, facing each other. Again, elbows are relaxed at your side, thumbs on top of stick, fingers underneath the stick. And the beauty of this grip is that it allows you the access to the fingers. The fingers are what you will use to play fast, but the fingers don't have a lot of power because they're just fingers. So in the French position, you can develop your finger playing for speed. A little history. The French percussionists back in the late 1800s were playing music that was a lot lighter. Think of Debussy and Ravel, who were composers of the Impressionist movement. Their music was very atmospheric, very light, very sparse, and it was the percussionists from France who were playing that music that started playing this way. especially the timpanists. And the timpanists started playing this way because they had to play very fast rolls on highly tuned drums, highly tensioned drums, and they needed speed in their rolls, and they could get more speed from their fingers, and they didn't need the power, they didn't need the loud volumes, so they were okay to be there. That's how the French grip kind of evolved. I learned it again in college studying timpani, but as I got older I noticed a lot of jazz guys were riding on their ride cymbal in the French position. And it took me a while to realize that they were doing that to access those fingers to get more speed out of their ride hand when they were playing up-tempo jazz tunes. And that's what got me thinking about using French within my drum set playing. So here's the thing on French. Just as German, you don't want to practice French to be able to play French or to be a timpanist necessarily, but you want to practice in the French position to develop your finger speed. Because as you develop that finger speed, when you go back to your normal playing, which is probably again American, you'll find you'll be able to dig into those fingers for more speed and have that to draw upon when a situation demands speed and you're looking to be musically expressive. So I recommend you do some exercises in the French position. Finally, there's American. Well, the Americans realize that both those positions, although extreme, have value, and our bodies feel comfortable somewhere in between. But the beauty of being in between is that when you're in between, you're not very far from the other two positions, American to German, American to French. And if you really work at your fingers and your wrists, you can develop your American grip to be very functional for you and allow you to be musically expressive without having to drift all the way to French or all the way out to German. You can move just ever so slightly within that position to find your fingers or find your power and enable those arms to work and the shoulders to work. So that's what American is, and that's why most people play American. Right, so that's what we have. We have German for power, French for speed, American for a little of both. Where that American grip falls for you depends on your body type. Some people play American a little closer, some people play it a little further out, some people play it here at a 45-degree angle. You'll have to find what works for you. And there is no right answer to that. It is what it is for you to allow you to be expressive musically. There again, I would practice German for power, French for speed, and then go to my American, and you'll be amazed at what you'll see your hands doing in your normal American playing position. One more time for you. Here it is. French, thumbs on top, finger playing. German, palms facing down, power playing from the wrist. And American, somewhere in between, 45-degree angle, the sticks, hands aren't down, they're not in, they're somewhere in between, and you can utilize wrist and fingers and have the best of both worlds. I hope that helps you understand those three positions, and again, most people call them grips. I think of them as positions because to me, my grip is how I hold the stick. But whatever it may be, call it what you will, those are those three positions. And I wish you all the best working through them. Don't be afraid to play in any or all of them, and don't be afraid to develop in all of them, and continue to work to be better so you can be more musically expressive.